Okay, so let's start the progress of 2.1 migration. This is the complete how-to video. I'll walk you through everything. It's pretty self-explanatory, but just so that you have some information as you go along and you do some of this stuff, I'll be here to do it with you. Now, some things to preface. This is for direct users first. If you're a resold user and you see the community or you see these videos, you'll be next, but direct users first. And there's something for resellers that is a little different than just direct users as well. I'll differentiate those two things as we go through, and just to let you know, as this wallet transition happens, minutes are still getting taken care of. So if there's minutes at the sub account level, they're still kind of buying down based on the parameters of calls being made, but you aren't charged for them right now. So even if you do this and you have your wallet balance and everything is converted, those calls won't start showing or won't start paying towards your wallet balance as of today. That'll happen in the next 24, 48 hours once majority of people have migrated over to this new system. So let's go ahead and get her done. I'm going to switch over to the screen here. All right, so I'm in my workspace, and you'll notice this little pop-up thing down here. We're going to work through that. It's totally self-guided. Again, this video is just to be here, just to help you all, go through everything. So let's go ahead and click on this here. Now it'll auto bring me here to billing, which will see wallet, and this will be kind of what we work out of here. Now you won't see anything in transactions. This is just routed just for me. This is what it'll look like eventually as you go through and do some of these things, where when wallet balance is paid for or auto bill, it'll show up here, right? Or if calls show up, you'll see how they're shown to your wallet here by call ID and by minute times 0.07 to the millisecond here, billed to my wallet. Okay, and again, this is rounded up, so it's like on this stuff it'd be like a penny, number this long, but it's just rounded up just to show you. So I'm here. Let's go ahead and start our to-do list. We can't click anything else, so let's start this customer ID. Now we'll be brought here to confirm our customer ID. You'll either have a customer ID or you won't, whether you're a resold client, you're a transition from a resold client, maybe you're a lifetime that doesn't have a customer ID. Because you're a lifetime client, what this is going to do is if you have a customer ID, it's going to confirm it. If you don't have one, it's going to give you one for the wallet. All right. Now my customer ID is confirmed. That's all you have to do on that. Make sure for that one there with the name and email, if you don't have a customer ID, so that shows lifetime or that doesn't show like an actual customer ID, put in the information that you want associated with your customer ID if that information up there is not the one you want. So we'll start the minute buyback process here. So I don't have very many minutes in my agency here, and I don't have any in my sub account. And just to prove some of these things, there's some verbiage around them, and then also you can open this up to see all the minutes in your sub accounts here. Now mine down here don't have minutes, but yours probably will, whether they're negative or positive. Those will all go into this total math operation here. And how this breaks down is we have our minutes as an agency that we've had, plus the minutes that are the sum of our sub account minutes, whether that's positive or negative. Some of these may have negative because they're going through calls right now. Again, minutes are being processed still at the sub account level, but if they're over, what we do is just zero out, so no big deal. So it'll be your minutes that you have in your agency plus the sum of all the minutes inside the sub accounts, positive and negative. So you just take all these individual numbers, add them up, you'll get this number here. These two numbers are added together and multiplied by 7 cents to give you your balance offer. So it's the converted amount of your minutes plus the sum of your sub accounts minutes times 0.7 per minute. That gives you your balance offer. And if you have zero in your wallet or negative, it's just going to just say zero. It's our Merry Christmas gift. And even if you're negative in this stuff, we're not going to fault you for it. We're going to get a fresh start here in this wallet, and you'll be good to go. Okay. So everything looks good here. Let's go ahead and convert our minutes to balance. And again, if these are negative, this should just show zero. We'll convert that to balance, which shows our transaction. So all these transactions are kept. In case there's any discrepancy or you have any questions, all that's tracked. Okay, so we've converted our minutes and we've done our minute buyback. We can see my wallet balance is now $90, which was my offer through the minutes that I had in my agency. The next is the payment information. Now, you may not have this here. You may already have this here if you found this billing tab before now. But what this is just doing is tying a Stripe card to your wallet directly in case you decide to do automatic payment on wallet paydown for when that goes into prod, so you don't do any downtime. So if you get to 0, we'll just refill it kind of based on those preferences. If not, everything just kind of cuts. So this just ties it for this if you choose to do that in the future. So we'll go to payment information here, which should take us to this external portal for me to add card information to that customer ID and that wallet balance inside my stuff. Now this is gray labeled. You see it's under AI, voice, and chat. I'm going to add my card in here and then go back to the portal. Okay, I've been successfully brought back, and because we had to go to Stripe and come back, we'll just open this up here and we'll see that our payment information is done. My card is now enabled here, and you can always update that here, but now that you have that information, you're able to tap this to enable automatic billing if this happens. Again, this will enact in the next 48 hours where you're starting to get things processing at this level. Right now you're good, but again, mitigating downtime, this is probably the best thing here. Now, let's go to this Express Stripe Manager. Now, you may or may not have Stripe Express subscriptions. So if you've done rebilling in the past where you had to give them a plan or something like that, you may or may not have those in there. If you don't, you'll have a little thing that just says no plans found. You just click next step and you're good to go. For those who have rebilling plans in here already, this is just showing you which ones have those in here, right? And so all this is doing is it's going to be silently canceling those from the Express standpoint so that when we switch to OAuth, they don't get double billed from Express and OAuth. So this is going to go through and just say, okay, we've identified which ones have plans. We're going to go ahead and cancel those. And that's going to happen in that step right there. So cancellation is scheduled for all of those plans and we're good to go. All right, so the next thing is phone number sorting. So there's 2 things to do here. So mine's already been done, but here's a good one here. What this should show you is in your workspace here, these are your numbers. And what you're going to have is this thing right here that says update metadata, right? And so if you have this update metadata, you're just going to click all of them down through here, right? So you'll notice that the finish with changes lights up when these are done. Majority of people who are not resellers, you won't get this other workspaces tab. You'll just get your own. And it's going to look something like this, where it's going to make you click each one of these to update all the metadata. It's just taking all the data from where these may be, making sure that we have everything correct, and then making sure everything as far as a subscription and everything like that is correctly tied back to your agency, making sure everything's taken care of. So you'll just go through each one of those, click this update metadata, and you'll be good to go, right? If you're not a reseller, you just do that, you click finish with changes, and you're good to go. Now, if you are a reseller, once you get done with your workspace, don't click this yet, all right? Don't click this yet, click this other workspace. So you know how you get charged for all those minutes, or not all the minutes, but all the phone numbers for all the other stuff? This is where you take care of that. So don't skip this step. Super important. You can always go back and do it later. So if you already did this, you're watching this live and you already did it, just let me know. But if you're a reseller, don't click that button yet. Go to other workspaces. These will be workspaces that you own that are resold by you, right? And you just go through here and you do the same thing. Update metadata, and you'll see subscription canceled and will be required from the resold account for their subscription, right? So once that's done, both of my workspaces are cleared out, my personal workspace and all my resold clients' workspace. Once that's done, I'm going to finish those changes. Good to go. Don't forget to do that if you're a reseller. If you're not a reseller, that other tab's not relevant. You won't even see it. Make sure you do all those, click the button, now you're done. Now, everything up until this point is done. The only thing left is this notification for OAuth Stripe. So, if you're going to be doing rebilling, reselling, SaaS, whatever, we're going to send out a notification when OAuth creation of those plans is ready. That should be done before the end of today. Just as we make sure this transitions goes well. Again, everything's handled by us right now, so there's no big deal on a ton of that stuff. But what this is going to do is, if you opt for notification here, what that's going to do is just kind of put you into a spot to be notified once this goes live and we have documentation, everything over it. You'll get a notification, you get all the documentation, you can go in there and start to do what you need to do. Now that I've done that, you see that it's gone. My transition is now done. Good, right? Direct users will get this first. Resold users will get this later because the way their minutes will be handled will be different, right? Because they didn't have a chance to buy minutes. They were just given by some workspaces. They'll be zeroed out. But we're going to work with the workspaces that have bought minutes from you directly, and we're going to work that out together. But otherwise, they're just going to be zeroed out. So they're going to be handled a little bit different, right? So direct users first, and then we'll work on the additional workspaces. Now, breaking this down while we're here, now that we have our wallet, right? We have a couple things we can do. You can add balance here, in which if I have my wallet balance is low and I don't have this on, you'll need to add balance, right? And so you just use this slider. You can add balance to it if you want it. Awesome. You can enable automatic payment. So refill my wallet with $25 when my balance gets below $10 or $25. The same way it does in HighLevel, right? So it's just going to auto bill. You can see some of that's happening down here. And if you need to update this card that is updating your wallet, you can do that here. Save the changes, you're good to go. Now, how this breaks down here is this will kind of show you the summary of the usage between voice right now. All the other services will show up here, but right now we're just going to worry about voice. And so any voice usage will show up here. For this month, for December 1st through January 1st, will show up here. And then the phone numbers, I have 23 in my main workspace. That equals out to that right there. So that we can kind of see our billing for the month on voice specifically. And then these are the transactions that are relevant to the wallet balance. We can see that I refilled mine. I zeroed mine out just to kind of show you everything, but I refilled it here. When I went and did the add balance, it came back, did it here. And then some of these were from, for example, this one is an automatic refill. So I had it 10 and 10. Mine was at $9. It went below $9, so it came in and refilled it for me on the back end. I made those calls. You can see those calls happening here, and you can see all the balances and add and subtracts happening all there. This is the total cost of the calls for this month. And this is what yours will look like in about 24, 48 hours. Mine's happening live just to test out, just to make sure everything's good. So that is the introduction to the wallet. This will handle all the volume for your agency. And then once you enable reselling for things like voice minutes, things like voice knowledge bases, things like that, your sub accounts will get something very similar. Well, they'll go through a similar process of getting a customer ID, adding an account, and then instead of getting billed, 7 cents per minute, they'll get billed whatever you put in there. And when they refill minutes, it'll be done through your Stripe, just how HighLevel's done on their SaaS plan. So that's the overview of everything. That's the walkthrough. The pop-up pretty much does everything for you, but I wanted you to have this video as an additional resource so that you know it's here for you. I'll be around today. Got a ton of calls. My calendar's literally, it's full until 5 or 6 p.m. So I'll be around if anything like that happens today. But the pop-up in this video should take you where you need to be. You're good to go. These will start processing 24, 48 hours. So we're just making sure that everybody's good to go. Direct users first, resold users later. And I think that's pretty much it. If you have any other things come up, let me know. Everything's transactioned, so we see everything that's happening and can store all this metadata. So around if you need me. There's the process there. That is how you do the 2.1 conversion. Super easy. This could have been done on the back end, but in everything that I like to do it alongside you, just so you know everything's being done right. So there you go.